The internet woke up to absolute chaos this morning after rumors exploded that K-Flock could be getting out of jail sooner than anyone expected in 2026. And when I say the entire rap world froze for a second, I'm not exaggerating. Fans were shocked. Timelines started moving faster than anyone could keep up with. And suddenly everybody, from drill rappers to bloggers to people who claimed they had inside information, started dropping hints about a date that might completely shake the New York drill scene. Now here's the crazy part. This didn't start with a news outlet, a lawyer, or even a family member. It started with a single cryptic message posted late at night by someone close to K-Flock's circle. Just 5 words. Countdown almost over. Stay ready. Within minutes, the message was screenshotted, reposted, and debated across every rap page you can imagine. Fans immediately started connecting dots, digging through court updates, analyzing past interviews, and trying to figure out if the Bronx drill star might really be walking free sooner than people thought. But that's when the drama really began, because while some people were celebrating the possibility of K-Flock returning, others were reacting very differently. Some rappers went completely silent. Each or others started posting messages that felt more like warnings than congratulations. And then there were those who straight up said the industry isn't ready for what might happen if K-Flock actually comes home. Emotions ran high across social media. Fans argued non-stop. Some convinced the rumors were real, while others called it pure cap. Meanwhile, people close to the situation started dropping even more mysterious clues. Lyrics, photos, timestamps, and statements that only made the story feel bigger. And the wildest part? The date everyone is whispering about might be closer than you think. But before anyone celebrates, there's a lot more to this story than people realize. The moment the rumors about K-Flock possibly getting out in 2026 started circulating, the internet reacted like someone had just dropped a surprise album at midnight. Fans didn't wait for confirmation. They didn't wait for lawyers, court documents, or official statements. Within minutes, social media timelines were exploding with speculation, screenshots, and heated debates. Some fans were celebrating like the news was already confirmed, while others were warning people not to believe everything they see online. But one thing was obvious: the possibility of K-Flock returning had people emotionally invested in a way that felt bigger than music. For many fans of the Bronx drill scene, his potential release represented unfinished business, a story that never really got its final chapter. The rumor gained even more momentum when a small drill blogger posted a video claiming he had spoken to someone close to K-Flock's legal team. According to him, there had been unexpected movement behind the scenes that could affect when the rapper might see freedom. The blogger didn't give exact details, but his confidence made people listen. "I'm telling y'all," he said during the video, leaning closer to the camera. Something is happening right now. And if what I'm hearing is true, the timeline people been repeating for years might not be the real one anymore." That single statement lit a fire under the entire drill community. Fans started sharing the clip everywhere, arguing over whether the blogger had real information or was simply chasing attention. Meanwhile, people who claimed to be close to K-Flock's family began posting subtle messages that only fueled the speculation. And one relative posted a picture of a sunrise with the caption, "Better days ahead." Another shared a short video of a prayer candle burning next to a small framed photo of the rapper. The caption read, "Patience always wins." Those posts were enough to send fans into detective mode. Comment sections filled with theories, calculations, and emotional messages. Supporters talked about how much they missed K-Flock's presence in the drill scene, while critics questioned whether the rumors were just wishful thinking. But the most dramatic reaction came from the streets of the Bronx itself. Local fans started recording TikTok videos discussing the rumors, standing in front of familiar corners and murals connected to the drill culture. One young fan said, "If K-Flock really comes home in 2026, the city gonna feel different overnight." Another added, "The drill scene ain't been the same since he left. People can say what they want, but his energy changed everything." These reactions showed just how emotionally invested fans were in the idea of his return. Of course, not everyone was celebrating. Some rappers in the drill scene reacted cautiously, posting vague messages that made fans question whether they were comfortable with the rumors. One artist tweeted, "Everybody excited, but nobody talking about what happens next." The tweet immediately went viral because people interpreted it in different ways. Some believed he was suggesting that K-Flock's return could shake up the power dynamics of the drill scene. Others thought he was simply reminding fans that the situation situation was more complicated than people were making it seem. The tension grew when another rapper posted a short message saying, "Certain people been real quiet lately." That sentence sparked intense debates across social media. Fans started pointing fingers, accusing different artists of feeling nervous about K-Flock's potential comeback. Old interviews and past social media posts resurfaced as people tried to analyze relationships within the drill scene. It felt like the entire community was suddenly revisiting years of history, looking for clues about how everyone might react if the rumors turned out to be true. Behind the scenes, music industry insiders also began whispering about the situation. A producer who had previously worked with several drill artists hinted during an Instagram live session that labels were paying close attention to the rumors. "I ain't saying nothing confirmed," he said carefully, "but just know people in the business always planning ahead. If something big happens, they want to be ready." His statement made fans believe that executives were already preparing for the possibility of K-Flock returning to music. Meanwhile, fans couldn't stop discussing the impact his return might have on the drill sound itself. During his rise, K-Flock had become one of the most recognizable voices in the Bronx drill movement. His aggressive delivery and street-focused lyrics resonated with listeners who felt that his music represented a raw and authentic version of the culture. For those fans, the idea of him stepping back into the spotlight felt almost historic, but emotions ran high when critics entered the conversation. Some people argued that the drill scene had already evolved during K-Flock's absence. New artists had emerged, new sounds had developed, and the genre had continued moving forward. These critics questioned whether the rapper's return would actually change the landscape as much as fans believed. Their comments sparked intense arguments online. Supporters fired back, insisting that K-Flock's influence could never be replaced, while fans debated, claiming to have knowledge of a possible court timeline update. The message hinted that early 2026 could bring a major development. Even though the screenshot couldn't be verified, it spread rapidly across social media platforms. People analyzed every detail, the wording, the timestamp, even the profile picture of the person who supposedly sent it. The uncertainty made the story feel even more dramatic. No one could confirm what was real, yet the possibility of a major change kept everyone glued to their screens. Bloggers continued posting updates, influencers shared their opinions, and fans refreshed their feeds every few minutes hoping to see new information. As the conversation grew louder, one thing became clear. The rumor about K-Flock's potential release had already become one of the most talked about topics in the drill community. Even without official confirmation, the speculation had created a wave of excitement, anxiety, and curiosity that spread far beyond the Bronx. And with every new post, every cryptic message, and every heated debate, the same question kept echoing across the internet. If the rumors were true and K-Flock really did step back into the world in 2026, what would happen next? Because judging by the reactions already pouring in, about K-Flock potentially walking free in 2026 continued to spread. The conversation shifted from simple excitement to full-blown tension across the drill community. At first, it was just fans celebrating the possibility, but within days, the reactions from people connected to the scene started revealing something deeper, something emotional. Suddenly, old alliances, past disagreements, and unfinished business began resurfacing in ways that nobody expected. Fans were shocked to see artists who had been silent for years suddenly speaking up again, dropping messages that sounded like warnings, reflections, or even quiet challenges. One of the biggest moments came when a well-known Bronx drill artist went live on Instagram late at night. Thousands of viewers joined within seconds, expecting him to address the rumors directly. Instead, he started speaking in a calm but serious tone. "Everybody online acting like this just music," he said slowly, "but real life don't pause for nobody." The comment section exploded instantly. People begged him to clarify what he meant, asking if he had insider knowledge about K-Flock's situation, but he simply shook his head and added, "Y'all gonna see what time it is when the time come." Then he ended the live stream abruptly. That moment alone sparked thousands of discussions across social media. Fans debated whether he was being supportive or expressing concern about the possible impact of K-Flock returning to the streets. Meanwhile, bloggers who cover the drill scene started digging deeper. One YouTube commentator claimed he had spoken to someone who used to work closely with K-Flock before his legal troubles. According to the source, as the rapper had remained focused on his future even while dealing with the challenges of incarceration. The commentator said the source told him, if he ever gets the chance to come home, he's not coming back the same. His mindset different now. That statement fascinated fans because it suggested that K-Flock's potential return wouldn't just be about music, it could represent a personal transformation. Family members added another emotional layer to the story. Oi, a cousin of the rapper, posted a heartfelt message that read, "People think time breaks you, but sometimes it builds you stronger." The message didn't directly confirm anything about a release date, but supporters interpreted it as a sign that the family remained hopeful about the future. Fans filled the comments with prayers, encouragement, and emotional reactions. Some wrote long paragraphs explaining how K-Flock's music had helped them through difficult moments in their own lives. Plus, the connection between artist and audience felt more powerful than ever, but while supporters shared hope, critics raised serious questions. Some community voices began discussing the broader impact of drill music and whether the culture surrounding it had contributed to the legal challenges faced by certain artists. These conversations became heated quickly. Supporters argued that music should not be blamed for circumstances in the real world. And critics insisted that the conversation was more complicated than fans wanted to admit. The debate showed how deeply emotional the topic had become. Things grew even more dramatic when a former collaborator of K-Flock posted a message that seemed to reference their complicated history. "Sometimes distance teaches you who really had your back," he wrote. Fans immediately began speculating about what he meant. One message was supportive, while others' message was supportive, while others thought it hinted at unresolved tension. Emotions ran high when another rapper entered the conversation with a cryptic tweet. "Everybody cheering now, but remember who was silent before." That line instantly divided the community. Supporters wondered if the tweet was aimed at artists who had avoided discussing K-Flock during his legal struggles. Critics argued that the comment only created unnecessary drama. Either way, the tweet went viral and added another layer of intensity to the situation. Meanwhile, fans in the Bronx began expressing their feelings in creative ways. Murals and graffiti dedicated to drill culture started appearing in certain neighborhoods with messages of loyalty and resilience. Some supporters recorded videos standing near these murals, sharing their thoughts about what K-Flock's potential release might mean for the city's music scene. One fan said, "When he blew up, it felt like the Bronx finally had the spotlight again. People just want to see the story continue." These reactions highlighted how personal the conversation had become for local supporters. The music industry also began paying attention. A talent manager who works with several emerging drill artists hinted during a podcast that the entire genre could experience a shift if K-Flock returned. When certain figures come back into the conversation, the energy changes, he explained. People start moving differently. His comments made fans wonder whether record labels were already preparing for the possibility of a major comeback. At the same time, rumors about a possible release timeline continued evolving. Audic online forums filled with speculation about court schedules, legal procedures, and potential outcomes. Some users claimed to have analyzed public records, while others insisted they had inside connections. The truth remained unclear, but the mystery kept people engaged. Every new rumor triggered another wave of excitement and anxiety. One particularly dramatic moment occurred when a screenshot circulated online, showing what appeared to be a message from someone claiming to know the exact month K-Flock might return. The screenshot couldn't be verified, but it spread rapidly across multiple platforms. Fans debated its authenticity for hours, zooming in on details and arguing about whether it looked real. The uncertainty only made the situation feel more intense. Through all the speculation, one detail remained consistent: the emotional reactions from people who had followed K-Flock's career from the beginning. For many fans, his rise in the Bronx drill scene represented a moment when their neighborhood's voice reached the national stage. The possibility of his story continuing in 2026 felt almost symbolic, but at the center of the storm, K-Flock himself remained silent. There were no direct statements, no recorded messages, and no confirmed updates from the rapper. That silence created a strange atmosphere where everyone seemed to be speaking about him, yet no one truly knew what he was thinking. And as the rumors continued growing louder, the same question echoed across the internet. If K-Flock really does return in 2026, will it be the beginning of a comeback story, or the start of an entirely new chapter that nobody sees coming? As the speculation around K-Flock continued building across social media, the conversation started reaching a level that nobody expected. What began as rumors slowly transformed into a full cultural moment, with people inside and outside the drill scene reacting in ways that made it clear this story meant much more than a possible release date. Emotions ran high across the internet as fans, critics, bloggers, and fellow artists debated what the future might look like if K-Flock really stepped back into the spotlight in 2026. Every small clue, every cryptic message, and every vague comment was being treated like a puzzle piece in a mystery that thousands of people were trying to solve together. One evening, the conversation exploded again when a well-known New York DJ mentioned K-Flock's name during a live stream while discussing the state of drill music. The DJ leaned back in his chair and said, "Let me tell y'all something. If that situation ever changes, the whole drill sound might shake up again." He didn't explain what he meant, but that single statement triggered another wave of debate online. Fans flooded the chat demanding details. Some believed he had inside knowledge about legal developments. Others thought he was simply talking about the influence K-Flock once had on the genre. Either way, the clip spread across social media within minutes, sparking thousands of reactions. Meanwhile, people who had known K-Flock during his early rise in the Bronx drill scene began sharing stories about his determination. And one former studio engineer who worked with several drill artists recalled how the rapper would spend hours perfecting his verses before recording. He always moved like he knew his moment was coming, the engineer said during an interview with a music blog. Even back then, you could see he believed he was meant to be one of the voices of the city. Fans who watched the interview felt a mixture of nostalgia and curiosity, wondering how much the rapper might have changed since those early studio sessions. Family members continued posting emotional messages that kept supporters hopeful. One relative shared a photo of a city skyline at sunset with the caption, "Storms don't last forever." Fans interpreted the message as another sign that the family remained optimistic about the future. Comment sections filled with heart emojis and messages of encouragement. Some supporters shared their own personal stories about how K-Flock's music had impacted their lives, turning the conversation into something that felt almost like a community gathering rather than just online speculation. But while supporters shared hope, the debate within the drill scene itself became more intense. Several artists began discussing the topic indirectly during interviews and live streams. One rapper spoke carefully about the rumors, saying, "The city always watching." When somebody with that kind of name comes back into the conversation, everybody gotta move smarter. His comments sparked immediate reactions from fans who wondered if he was referring to competition within the drill scene or something deeper involving street dynamics. The tension became even more noticeable when another artist posted a short video saying, "People act different when they think the old energy coming back." That line quickly went viral, with fans interpreting it as a reference to K-Flock's potential influence on the drill community. Some believed the rapper was expressing concern about old rivalries resurfacing. Others thought he was simply acknowledging the excitement surrounding the rumors. The ambiguity only made the situation more dramatic. At the same time, music bloggers began analyzing the possible impact of K-Flock's return on the broader hip-hop industry. Several commentators argued that the Bronx drill movement had already gone through multiple changes during his absence. New artists had emerged, new collaborations had formed, and the sound itself had evolved. These analysts questioned whether K-Flock's return would revive the earlier energy of the movement or push it into an entirely new direction. The debate attracted viewers who were interested not only in the rumors, but also in the cultural significance behind them. Another unexpected moment occurred when a fan uploaded a video showing a crowd in the Bronx discussing the rumors outside a neighborhood convenience store. People in the video shared passionate opinions about what K-Flock's potential release might mean. One man said, "When he started making noise, everybody in the city was paying attention. If he gets another chance, people gonna watch every move." Another person responded, "Yeah, but the world different now. The spotlight bigger." The conversation captured the complicated emotions surrounding the story. Hope, excitement, and uncertainty all mixed together. Even artists from outside New York started reacting. Some rappers from other cities mentioned K-Flock's name while discussing the drill genre during podcasts and interviews. One southern rapper commented, "You can't talk about drill without mentioning the Bronx wave that came after Chicago." or certain artists carried that energy. Although he didn't directly reference the rumors about a release date, fans interpreted the comment as recognition of K-Flock's role in the movement. As the speculation grew louder, another mysterious development added to the suspense. A message appeared on a popular hip-hop discussion forum claiming that legal proceedings connected to K-Flock's situation could see significant updates sometime in 2026. The message didn't include evidence, but it spread quickly through social media communities. Fans debated the credibility of the claim for hours, with some insisting it matched earlier rumors, while others warned people not to believe anonymous posts. The emotional intensity reached another level when a group of supporters organized a small gathering in the Bronx to celebrate drill culture and show solidarity for artists facing difficult circumstances. Videos from the gathering showed people playing drill music, sharing memories, and discussing the future of the genre. Several attendees mentioned K-Flock as an example of how quickly life can change for young artists rising in the spotlight. The atmosphere in the videos felt both hopeful and reflective. Throughout all of this, one thing remained unchanged. K-Flock himself stayed silent. There were no direct updates from the rapper and no confirmed statements about his situation. That silence created a strange contrast to the non-stop conversation happening around him. Thousands of people were discussing his future, yet the person at the center of the story remained unseen and unheard. And that silence only made the mystery more powerful, because the longer the rumors continued without confirmation, the more people wondered whether the speculation might actually lead to something real. Fans kept asking the same question over and over again across comment sections and live stream chats. If the rumors about 2026 turn out to be true, will K-Flock return to the music world stronger than ever? Or will the next chapter of his story look completely different from what anyone expects? As the weeks went on and the rumors about K-Flock possibly returning in 2026 refused to die down, the entire situation started feeling less like speculation and more like a countdown that nobody could clearly see. Every new conversation about the Bronx drill scene somehow circled back to the same question: what really happens if K-Flock comes home? Fans were shocked at how deeply the topic had embedded itself into everyday discussions within hip-hop culture. Even people who weren't usually invested in drill music started following the updates, curious to see how the story would unfold. One of the biggest turning points came during a late-night podcast where two hip-hop commentators were discussing the future of New York drill. In the middle of the conversation, one host suddenly said, "You know what nobody talking about? If that situation changes in 2026, the entire power structure of the Bronx drill scene could shift overnight." His co-host paused for a moment before replying, "Facts, because certain artists built their buzz during that gap." The question is, what happens when the original energy comes back? That exchange immediately went viral across social media. Fans clipped the moment and posted it everywhere, sparking new debates about influence, competition, and legacy within the genre. Meanwhile, emotions ran high among supporters who had followed K-Flock since the beginning of his career. Several fan pages dedicated to Bronx drill started posting throwback clips from his early performances and studio sessions. In one clip, a younger K-Flock could be seen passionately delivering a verse while a group of friends cheered him on in the background. The video reminded fans of the raw hunger that had fueled his rise in the scene. Comment sections filled with messages like, "The city's still waiting," and 2026 might be the biggest comeback story in drill. But not everyone was comfortable with the intensity of the conversation. Some community voices began urging fans to remember the seriousness of the situation and avoid turning real-life circumstances into entertainment. One Bronx-based activist posted a thoughtful message online saying, "We gotta remember these are real lives, real families, and real consequences. Music is powerful, but the people behind it matter too." The message received thousands of likes and shares, showing that the discussion had evolved beyond simple fan speculation. Still, the suspense surrounding the rumors refused to fade. Bloggers continued searching for clues about what might happen in 2026. A few even started analyzing public court records, trying to interpret legal timelines and procedures. While most of these analyses were complicated and difficult for fans to understand, they added another layer of intrigue to the story. The idea that something significant might happen in the future kept people glued to their screens. Meanwhile, artists within the drill community began addressing the topic more openly. During one livestream, a rising Bronx rapper answered a fan question about Kay Flock's potential return. He took a deep breath before responding carefully. "Look, the city always gonna respect the history of what happened in the drill scene," he said, "but everybody also focused on building something new. If somebody comes back into the picture, yes, it just means the spotlight get even brighter." His balanced response impressed many viewers because it acknowledged both the excitement and the complexity surrounding the rumors. Another unexpected moment came when a veteran New York DJ shared his perspective during a radio interview. He explained how the drill movement had evolved over the years and how artists from the Bronx had played a major role in shaping the sound. When asked about Kay Flock, the DJ paused thoughtfully before answering. "That young man had a lot of attention when he came up," he said. "People connected with his voice and his energy. If the future ever gives him another opportunity, the world definitely gonna watch closely." His comments were respectful yet cautious, reflecting the delicate nature of the conversation. Meanwhile, supporters in the Bronx continued expressing their loyalty in creative ways. Murals celebrating drill culture appeared in certain neighborhoods, featuring symbolic imagery connected to the city's music scene. In videos shared online, fans gathered near these murals to talk about the impact drill had on their community. Some spoke about how the music helped them express their struggles and ambitions. Others discussed how young artists from the Bronx had turned local experiences into global conversations through their songs. During one of these gatherings, a fan holding a phone camera said something that quickly resonated across social media. "The reason people keep talking about 2026 is because people love comeback stories," he explained. "Everybody want to see somebody get another shot to prove who they really are." His words captured the emotional heart of the entire situation. For many fans, the rumors about Kay Flock weren't just about music. They represented hope, redemption, and the possibility of transformation. At the same time, critics continued raising difficult questions. Some observers argued that the drill scene had already moved into a new era with fresh voices and different perspectives. They wondered whether fans were focusing too much on the past instead of supporting emerging talent shaping the genre's future. These debates sometimes became heated online, with supporters defending Kay Flock's influence while critics encouraged people to broaden their focus. Despite the disagreements, and one thing remained undeniable: the conversation surrounding Kay Flock had become one of the most talked about topics within the drill community. Every interview, live stream, and podcast seemed to circle back to the same mystery about what might happen in 2026. The uncertainty kept people engaged even when no new information appeared. Meanwhile, bloggers and influencers continued teasing their audiences with dramatic headlines and speculative videos. Some claimed they had exclusive updates coming soon. Others hinted that insiders were quietly preparing for major developments. Whether those claims were accurate or exaggerated, they kept the story alive in the public imagination. And through all of this noise, one detail remained constant: Kay Flock himself stayed completely silent. No posts, no statements, no interviews. That silence created an almost cinematic tension around the entire story. Thousands of people were discussing his future, analyzing every rumor, yet the person at the center of it all had not spoken a single word. That silence left fans wondering about one final question that continued echoing through the drill community: if 2026 really does bring a new chapter for Kay Flock, will the world witness a comeback that reshapes the Bronx drill scene? Or will the reality of the moment turn out to be something far more unexpected? As the rumors, reactions, and debates continue swirling around Kay Flock, one thing is undeniable: the conversation has already become bigger than anyone expected. Fans are shocked, bloggers are racing to break the next update, and across the Bronx drill community, emotions ran high as people try to figure out what the future might really look like in 2026. Some believe the rumors are the beginning of one of the biggest comeback stories drill music has ever seen. Others think the internet may be getting carried away with speculation, but the truth is, right now, nobody outside the legal process truly knows what's coming next. What makes this story even more intense is how many people feel personally connected to it. Supporters see Kay Flock as one of the voices that helped bring Bronx drill to the spotlight. Critics argue that the scene has already evolved and new artists are carrying the movement forward, and somewhere in the middle are fans who are simply waiting for clarity. are refreshing their feeds every day, hoping to see the moment when real information finally drops. The mystery surrounding 2026 has turned into a countdown that the entire hip-hop community is watching. But here's the real question. If K-Flock really does step back into the world one day, what happens next? Does the Bronx drill scene explode with new energy? Do old rivalries resurface? Or does the story take a completely different direction that nobody saw coming? The family, the fans, and the entire rap world are watching closely, and the suspense hasn't slowed down at all. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think K-Flock could actually be released in 2026? Would his return change the Bronx drill scene? Or do you think the internet is overhyping the rumors? Drop your thoughts in the comments because the debates around this story are getting wild, and your opinion matters in this conversation. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next update when new details drop. Because trust me, if anything major happens in this story, you're going to want to hear about it the second it breaks.